And I'm recording. Okay, you guys. So the way that it just worked, I'm gonna go throughout and I'm gonna discuss some of the current events and natural disasters or whatever climate events you could say that happened from the 7th up until the 10th. I think I'm gonna cut it off at the 10th because I'm just picking up from where I left off yesterday. I'm going to start this discussion out with two videos on YouTube because I think that they're pertinent to what's going on right now. The first one that I'm going to play for you all, and it's only going to be about 5 minutes of it, is going to be what's going on with the areas of Helene. I'm not quite sure if people are aware, but there's wildfires that are occurring there. And I had gave people the warning after Helene that they needed to leave there for a certain reason. And I think that this video is going to start hitting on what I was saying is there. So I want to play that one. And then we also have another one. I was telling people, I think it was like a year ago, that the weather ministry or whatever in Ghana had came out with some type of warning to American citizens that were trying to, go over there and get land and stuff, that they had got something from the government, or basically saying that it was going to be catastrophic flooding in Ghana and Nigeria, the Accra area and other areas, and that it would be local and regional, and that it was going to basically re-terraform the land there. You understand what I'm saying? And so I just wanted to show y'all that video, about 5 minutes of it, of what that sister's going through. And then after that, we're going to pick it up with the events from the 7th. So does anybody have any questions? I don't think anybody's come on yet. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Shay, wonderful, wonderful. So, okay, so this is the lady that I said that was going to be talking about the fires in Helene, and I'm only gonna play 5 minutes of this. If you all can't see, just please kindly unmute your mics and let me know that you can't see the screen.
Make memories with Get Your Guide, unforgettable travel experiences.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tracy, and today we're going to talk about the fires that are hitting the areas that were affected by Hurricane Helene, and that was about 6 months ago. So those of you who are maybe less familiar with Hurricane Helene and the areas that affected and what happened, I'll link some videos. I did 2 or 3 at the time. But just to sum it up, it was one of the most devastating hurricanes to hit the North Carolina area. It also affected Tennessee and Georgia. But it created extremely high storm surges, and it was extremely devastating, and a lot of people lost their lives. But in today's video, I'm going to focus on the fires that are currently burning in this area, and they have been for at least a few weeks. And someone posted this, actually sent me this post talking about how many fires there are in, what was this area called? The Swannanoa area. And I do remember that area as being heavily affected by Hurricane Helene. I'll go to a map where we could see the different fires, but I have some footage, and this was a mulch fire. So I don't know if this, it could have just been that there's so much fuel here and something lit it on fire. Mm-hmm. But we have a number of fires that are kind of suspicious, given that it's not fire season in this area. And generally this area doesn't have a ton of wildfires. Okay, and this is all in the Swannanoa area. And there was a Facebook post pointing this out.
Yeah.
And there's many here. I don't think I have to go through all of them. And then here's a map of where that fire is in relation
Pay attention to the map,
to
y'all.
the Swannanoa area. And that's an aerial view of the fire. So it's very small. I don't know if it, maybe an acre at most. And here's an article on the mulch fire. So after the hurricane, it created a very large amount of debris. And now that debris is dried out and is prone to fires. So here's the number of fires. I'm going to go into more detail here soon because I am going to pull up an interactive map, and I'll link this website. So if you guys want to play with it on your own, it's really helpful. Okay, so it's called a livingatlas.arcgis.com. Okay, so something that I found that was very interesting. So
Listen, y'all, listen.
One of the, I guess, theories of why Helene was possibly engineered to hit this area, this area is known to have a lot of minerals and natural resources in the ground, including lithium and quartz, to name a few. There's also like precious minerals, I guess they're minerals or resources such as rubies and emeralds. But with the current need for lithium and quartz, this area is very highly sought after for these resources. So, okay, I'll start with this little circle here. This is Kings Mountain, and it's well known that Kings Mountain is sitting on top of a huge lithium deposit. So when Helene hit there, that was something that was brought up right away, that companies wanted this area so that they could mine it. Companies such as Piedmont and Albemarle. Now, Albemarle is...
all right, that's as far as I wanted to go through with that. So what I want y'all to enter and understand is just like what I said is happening over there. That area is getting ready to be re-terraformed, y'all, because it's temples up under the earth over there. Pyramids was on top of the earth, and temples is up under the earth that go off of free plasma energy. Notice that she said that the trees that had got knocked down by Helene had got dried out. Why is that? Because those temples over there radiate plasma energy. You enter and understand what I'm saying? It will easily dry out all of that stuff and make it flammable, more combustible. You heard her talk about that. It's not only lithium over there, you guys, because lithium is only what we use to encase and harness the free energy of Tiamat. Lithium actually steals ions. It's like what we encased it in or whatever. But notice she said it was quartz over there, y'all. Quartz is used even now to this day. We use quartz as an amplifier, and we use it when we make the coils and stuff with our jewelry and everything to make orgone energy, you guys. It's free energy over there. She said it was rubies, you guys, all kind of jewels and emeralds and stuff, because that was our crystal temples and stuff. Emerald temples and stuff that got destroyed on top of the earth, but they're still within the earth. Do you enter and understand what I'm saying? That was the Valley of Great Trees. So where they say a mountain is, that might have been a great tree stump. You understand what I'm saying? And so when she said the last thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to let this go, notice the companies that she said was trying to want control over that area. Piedmont is an energy company, you guys. If I'm trying to sell energy, do I want the free plasma energy to come to the earth? So is Albemarle. You understand what I'm saying? People got it all wrong and all twisted because they're going to see lithium ain't about shit. This summer, when all of them lithium batteries go to fucking explode, it's not the lithium. It's what the lithium encases, y'all, which is free energy. And I'm going to leave it alone. Do anybody got any questions on that before we move forward? I just wanted to throw that into the discussion, you guys, because it's getting ready to be a lot of plasma energy radiating up from the earth and all of that dead vegetation and stuff like that. It will be a lot of forest. It's going to be a lot of wildfires and stuff. So just get ready for them. You understand what I'm saying? Hold on. Let me unmute some people. So the next video that I'm going to play for you guys is the one from Ghana. It's the Empress from the U.S. This is why I say, motherfuckers, no, will stay with what you know. Y'all finna see why. I'm going to play the first 5 minutes of this. And I think both of these videos is important because y'all getting ready to see the theme throughout when I get ready to go over these next couple of days. Like the way it's laid out, you could tell that Tiamat is really re-terraforming at a ferocious rate. Like it's a lot going on. So let's see what's happening over in Accra, Ghana. And then we're going to get started. You all can see my screen, correct?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. All right, I'll share.
Introducing Domino's new and first ever stuffed crust pizza. Try it for the first time tonight.
This is phenomenal.
Back up, y'all. Back up. Oh my God. Yeah, mommy. What is this made of? Paper? Wow. So it is currently pouring down, raining here in Accra. Like when it first started, I was like, oh, okay, it's not gonna be so bad. Yeah. Let me show y'all. Look at this. I see. Yeah, as I'm filming, the whole back wall just collapsed. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? Oh. Oh my God. What? Back up, y'all. Back up. Oh my God. What is this made of? Paper? Wow.
Then this thing is going to, then the poly tank is going to break through.
Oh my God. I pray that hold up.
Get up from there, get up from there, get up from there.
Watch out. Oh my God. He was saying, the little boy was saying, y'all gonna, if y'all don't make a hole, it's gonna mess it up. He was so right. These little kids be having so much wisdom.
They did the hole. That is the hole there.
But even a little kid came in and was like, it needs, you have to make holes plenty. He said, because the water back here is going to gather. He was right. Even how a little boy know how to build. How even a boy has sense enough to know that and build this camp. Like, what? Come inside.
Wow.
Wow. I can't believe it. What? Wow.
Man.
They didn't even build it the right way.
There's a waterlogged area, and you see.
Yeah. It's evident. Because even if they come and fix this, it's going to do the same thing. Especially with rain season coming in, it's going to be crazy. This is going to be crazy. Let's go see the front, yeah. See, and this is the danger of moving to Accra and it's not raining because you don't know about the potential flood areas. And y'all see what it brings, right? So if you're not careful enough, and you end up renting and or purchasing land in a flood area, this is going to be your result each and every time. I'm telling y'all, and I'm warning y'all to be careful when you're not only purchasing land, but when you're considering renting a home here in Accra. Be very careful. Just Ghana anywhere, period, because you never know where a waterlogged area may be. So you just have to be very careful. And the best time to look for a house or land is during the rain season because that's when you're going to see the problems for real. But let's look at this front. I'm actually glad that the back of the house broke because if it didn't, our car would have flooded. The water would have built up and built up and built up and we would have not had a car. So that's kind of like a blessing in disguise.
Mommy, you don't really
No, I'm not. Okay. Get in
Look
here.
at this, y'all. But then I'm going to stop
So
playing.
this is what the road is looking like.
How are we going to get food at dinner time?
Look at how deep this water is.
Hey, Mommy, over here, imagine it's deeper.
Look at this. Look at this.
Look, Mommy, look at the trash and stuff. It's up to my waist. Look, Mommy.
I see it.
Mommy, it's up to my waist. Mommy, this goes down your waist.
Now, y'all think they ain't know that them motherfucking areas was gonna do that before they sold that land to them African American people to build settlements for people to come over there. Anybody else that's fucked up. But that shit's re-terraforming. So all of them people that ran themselves over there, now look, now it's up. Now, and she ain't the only one, y'all. It's a lot of people. It's happening all through Nigeria and everything. Like, that rain right there was all the way up to those trees. You understand? And it ain't even a rainy season there, but I'm for real. They gave out a big ass warning and said it was gonna be like they said it was gonna be the type of catastrophic flood and that would change the area forever. And if you really think about it, they not even in their rainy season yet. And that shit is flooded so bad that they back wall collapsed. Yo, like that whole house fucking unstable. It could collapse at any time. You understand? And you got people that bought properties out there. You saw how big and nice that house looked. And that shit finna go collapse into the fucking dirt. You gotta watch these folks, man. That's all I could say. Bruh, some of the stuff that I done seen recently, it just really make me think that a lot of people around the world hate African Americans. I'm for real as hell, y'all. Some of the stuff that I done seen, good gracious. You enter and overstand, like shit's too serious. Cause that's real fucked up. You understand what I'm saying? But everybody that look like you ain't for you. That's all I could say. Cause those people getting ready to get a rude awakening over there, man. Give me a second. I'm just scrolling up April 7th. All right. So does anybody have anything to say before we get started going down the headlines and stuff? All right. I'll keep on coming down and checking on people and everything to unmute mics if anybody wants to speak. It looks like on the 7th, y'all know that those deadly rounds of tornadoes and stuff was ripping through the Midwest. On the 7th, they had a count of at least 18 people had died because of the flooding. A very interesting article had came out talking about childhood cancer survivors that y'all might want to check out. It said that now that they're doing studies on them, they face accelerated aging and health problems decades earlier than most. And if you really think about it, y'all, they hitting when they do these radiotherapies and stuff like that, y'all, they hit in all the cells, you understand, with radiation. So that would be your telomeres and shit too, right? If you ever notice, like, you done seen some people go through radiotherapy and it turn their hair white. You understand? It turns off enzymes, different things like that. And if it hit your telomeres, and if it hit parts of your DNA and causes micro tears or whatever, which is what that type of therapy does, then of course you're going to have transcription problems that might result in lack of certain proteins. That's the health problems. And accelerating aging is from them hitting your telomeres. You understand what I'm saying? Like, bro, it probably degrade all the caps off them bitches, to tell you the truth, when they hit you with that radiation, the way they hitting you with it. It's unnatural radiation. Because if you was really, I hate to say this, like, I know people probably think I'm bullshitting for real, but like, if you got the right genetic codes, as long as you not vitamin C and vitamin D depleted and you get enough sun, you shouldn't develop cancer. But it's when all of that stuff be unbalanced and different stuff, you know, that fuck people up. So RFK is getting ready to remove the artificial dyes from food. So, you know, that's something that should have been done. I don't want to say too little, too late, but, you know, it's seeming like that. You understand? You guys, I thought this was a very interesting story because, like I said, it seems like, excuse me, you guys, all of the immigration stuff, all of the visas and stuff that's getting revoked, all of the places that they call terroristic places, just so happens to be African countries. You understand? So now we got South Sudan, they halting the visas on them because they taking the refusal of any deportees back. And, you know, it seems like it's just stretching across. It's starting to go into the brown immigrants as well. That's what I'm saying. So China's stock market fell. You understand? Shares of everything fell. That was a story about a girl named Janiyah Grimes. Y'all might want to look at it. It's in the current events chat. Basically, you know, she was an up and coming dancer or whatever, and she got murdered by her by her college sweetheart. But it had a lot of stuff in it, you know, because she was like a little spiritual and everything like that. And the reason why I put it in there was because, you know, love is blind, but sometimes love could lead you down the wrong path when you be caught in emotion. And I thought her story was a good story to show because she had so much potential, you understand, and brought so much joy and light to people's lives. And to be cut down by somebody that, you know, she really loved. And I mean, that's not the only case of it. You have it go both ways. But that story just really touched me. I was like, I'm going to share that with the group because they might find, you know, something in seeing that, you know, sad. It's a sad story, but it's a telltale story of if your life going good, bro, and it's going good for you, bro, you got to let some people go, bro, in order to make it. Because, man, when people see sometimes, man, and this is realer than real, people will see your light and they'll just trim you down because they can't be it. Hate to just say it like that, but that's the way it be going. Anybody else? Come on. Okay. All right. So on the 7th, like I said, everything was down. So Hong Kong stocks was down 13%. Taiwan suffered record falling and everything. So of course, everybody was talking about this. This was what was on the news cycle or whatever, talking about escalations, all kind of stuff. They were talking about that Ukraine minerals deal. Again, I'm telling y'all, they throwing signals with that. That's not what you think it is. Because didn't we just hear that lady say we got all kind of diamonds and minerals and shit right there in the hills of North Carolina? Quartz and all of that shit right there. So what is so important about minerals in Ukraine if you got the very same minerals right here? Those are the type of questions that really, you understand, then you got to ask yourself this question, because wouldn't it be cheaper to mine them minerals right there in the hills of North Carolina than to go all the way to Ukraine for the same thing? Rare earth minerals right there. It's crazy. They just don't talk about it, y'all. But for real, I know it for facts because I got a friend that worked in Charlotte at one of those mines or whatever, and it's all kind of rare earth minerals that we was producing right here in North Carolina, all kind of lithium, everything, to the Department of Defense. But that's another story for another day. So there was more stuff on trade. So that's all that was going on for a second. You understand what I'm saying? In the talk on tariffs. So that was a big thing that was going on the 7th. I think everybody was talking about that, talking about the stock market laws. So there was also a lot of stuff that was going on around the world with natural disasters. You had the Democratic Republic of Congo, the flood, and just continued. Y'all, look at this. So them cars gone. I don't know, but that's tough. You understand what I'm saying? So on the 4th, it was an avalanche in Nepal, you guys. So to me, that's just showing you that it's unstable land. Yeah, it's getting unstable, you guys. Like, if you remember last week, I showed you all another big avalanche that just happened out of the blue. That's something to watch. Not because avalanches are abnormal. They're not. You understand? They do happen, and they do happen this time of the year when it shifts. But because of when they're occurring and what's occurring around those same areas on the same days, in addition to the earthquakes that's happening, in addition to the volcanic eruptions that's happening, in addition to the earth storms, then you got to start to look at everything like, okay, now it's a bunch of signals that land is shifting. You understand? If it was any of these events separately, I wouldn't say that. But because we're seeing all of this stuff occur all on the same day, all in different places of the world, you got to start being like, oh, okay, it's something else going on here. And I think I'm being distracted. So in Brazil, you guys, they had a really, really bad truck accident. That's another thing that I've been noticing, like in this last week, like truck drivers just crashing out real bad.
Pessoal, agora, pessoal, olha aí, ó, doidura, meu Deus,
So
aqui pertinho do Vale do Tel, na entrada, ó, estourando tudo aí, pessoal, olha, chego a me arrepiar, pessoal.
But I got the original footage, so I'm gonna go on down. I think it's in here because I think, yeah, this the aftermath of it. I think on down one of the things I got where he actually slid into the oncoming traffic. It was real wild. Just some crazy stuff. You understand what I'm saying? So I always said, like, they were trying to say that Trump had planned for the markets to, you know what I'm saying, to slump like that. And maybe he did. I don't know. But all I know is that on that day, the only person that made money was Warren Buffett. But I also thought that this list of billionaires are all people who made a whole bunch of money during COVID-19. Like, them people got richer than rich, y'all. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that shit's crazy. You understand, for a person to have that much wealth and it be any poor countries or anything on this earth. Like, it's just a terrible shame. You know, that's the way I look at that. This was a post. I'm not going to get into this because, you know, I feel like if you subscribe to the panic and to the, what is it? The need mind state, like the depleted mind state, you understand, the collapsed mind state, then that's where you're going to be at. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you pull the energy to you that you see or that you create. So, is a collapse imminent? Of course it is. But with a collapse is also a creation. You understand? And you could look at it one or two ways, and you could channel this energy into whatever you want it to be. I just feel like that people that's holding on to the 3D is the ones that's getting ready to go down with this collapse. So I thought that was an interesting one to put in there, but just because I wanted to say that, like, ain't nobody over here panicked because we already knew this was going to occur. So you guys, Rio de Janeiro, you guys, I put this on my current events. They underwater.
Aí no principal peguei, rapaziada, indo embora. Aí, Fernando aí, ó. Aí, rapaziada. Luciano, olha aí, Luciano. O Pereca City, como é que tá aí, rapaziada?
So y'all, you understand, here go a couple more pictures, but you see that water is waist high or better. You understand that car is literally floating down the street. So that's Rio de Janeiro. You know, all right. So what else did we have? That's just more photos of Rio de Janeiro. If y'all wanted to check those out, they in the group. We had Kazakhstan, and this was crazy as hell right here. So Kazakhstan got hit with a crazy dust storm that blacked their whole city out. Like, look how the dust came in. That shit just came in. It sounds scary. So, all right. So that's how it blew in, y'all. And then just look how dark it got there.
Saat 12 жарым қап-қара. Күндіз saat 12 жарым қап-қара. Светтер жанып кеткен қазір.
That's 12:24 considered in day noon on the 5th of April, y'all. Come on. Like, y'all could go through those pictures yourself. Like, that ain't a joke. You understand? It looked dark out there with so much dust. Like, where the hell that dust blowed up from over there? I mean, it could blow up, but that's, you know, that's serious in my eyes. A big weather disturbance, a lot of unstable atmospheric weather. You understand, to pull up the dust like that, in my opinion. So then over in, what is this? Indonesia, they had heavy storms, floods. So y'all can see right there, that's where the moving like fuck. That water moving. Okay, that water moving. That's Dirty Water Rapids. They had tornadoes. April 5th. Y'all could go and check out more of those pictures or whatever, but that's just a brief synopsis of it or whatever. Because as they was going through what they was going through on the 5th, that's when the Holy Ghost, everything broke loose again over there. And what was it, like the Midwest, Arkansas, and all of them got hit with all of them Holy Ghost storms and everything. So it's a state of emergency. Remember, I think when I left off, they was calling the state of emergency, and it's just getting worse and worse, y'all. That's just a picture of a drain overrunning. Let's see what this is. Like, look. You know that's some serious rain though. You understand what I'm saying? Like, man, that shit's gonna go up. So the water came through there, you could see, and that's what's left afterwards. So y'all, that's Arkansas, state of emergency there, Hardy, Mammoth Springs, and Fulton County or whatever. And so there's some information there about that. Then you had Tennessee or whatever. They got hit too on the 5th with all of those Holy Ghost storms. I think this shows the Fort Cloud moving over because I think they got tornadoes like in Nashville. Yeah, so that's when it was coming, bruh. I done been in Nashville during a tornado once, man. So y'all, they got hit.
La intersección con Front Street. Y pues bueno, miren ustedes, está completamente inundado.
So I think it was like a Hispanic neighborhood or whatever, you understand what I'm saying, or whoever took these videos or whatever was from, so it's a lot of it narrated in Spanish. But y'all, they got hit with tornadoes and stuff, so it got real for them over there. At the same time that was going on, you have real weather disturbances going on in Iraq, y'all. So this is all the way across somewhere in Iraq. They having heavy storms, ice storms. What is this, like golf ball? Not golf ball, but I don't know, maybe golf ball size there? Yeah. All right. Enough to bust their windows and stuff, y'all. So that's Iraq on the same day. That's just more from Kurdistan, you understand? And that's just he's showing you right there the size of them. Like, look, y'all, like, man, come on. Like, man, if that hit somebody in their head, it's over for them, bro. Over. So that was there, right? So on the 5th, you got Russia was getting hit too with storms and stuff. They had hurricane force winds in Siberia, y'all. That looked like a wildfire or something burning. Let me look here. So yeah, that's what it says. 6 residential buildings burned down, 20 landscape fires due to the strong gust of wind. So that was some buildings burning down, you know. So basically that's wildfire. So they got hit with heavy gust of wind. And then I just know it is nasty over that bitch. Them some disgusting ass people, bro. When a change need to blow through that nasty bitch. Excuse me, y'all, but for real, something need to burn over there. Them is some nasty people, bro. Let me just shut up, bro. But y'all see what happened. So basically, they got hit with a dust storm and all kind of stuff over there in Western Siberia. eyes on Siberia, yo, because I promise y'all 3 years ago they got hit with this big pandemic that ain't nobody talking about, yo. It was some type of real deal bug had got botulinum toxin had got released from the soil on them, yo, and all of the animals and everything was dying. I covered that shit in 2023 because I was like, what the fuck is that? That was the real pandemic. That's what I was trying to tell people, that people was just falling dead over in Siberia. So I ain't shocked. Like, they gonna had a lot of plagues going on over there. This is Kakasha, Russia, and so that's the same thing that they got going on. So they got wildfires and stuff going on too, you guys. So that looks like they trying to, you know what I'm saying, do a fire line right there. That shit burning. So it's getting real. You understand? You see that haze. So we got wildfires burning all the way from North Carolina to Russia. Okay? That's April 5th. That's more from Russia. This is just showing you the winds and stuff, what it knocked over and stuff. So just, you know, some strong ass straight line winds came through there and was blowing shit down too. And then fires ignited, bruh. All right. This was Chihuahua, Mexico. I think I already talked about them, didn't I, when they went from dust to damn snow? That shit was unbelievable. You could see the dust right there. That's the dust storm. So they went from a damn dust storm, and then the shit turned into a snowstorm, a hailstorm. A hailstorm. That's hail. Never seen nothing like that in my life. So that was the 5th through the 6th. Poland just got hit with sandstorms. Y'all, it's sand in Poland. Like, y'all, Poland got hit with sand and snow. This is my question. Where is the sand coming from, bro? Somebody gotta help me out. I'm for real. I ain't from Poland, y'all, but that's sand. Man, that's just straight plasma energy until further notice, bro. Cause sand, then you got snow. I've been sitting here trying to figure it out. I done seen it in, like, I don't know, y'all. Don't ask. I don't know. But if anybody think that they got an explanation for it, please. I'm all ears right now, for real. This was an interesting story, y'all, out of Florida. This crazy woman done goddamn jumped on an alligator, bruh, to save her dog. Y'all can read it. She jumped on an alligator to save her dog or whatever. And basically, she pried the dog's head from the damn alligator's mouth. I don't know. Don't ask me no question. I don't know. So Trump was still doing the tariff threats on China. So it was like everybody was caught on that. You understand? They was talking about Netanyahu and him. They was talking about Apple. You understand? Trying to offset the tariffs. Everybody was talking about that. So the tariffs, that's all that was on the news that I caught. I don't know if anybody caught anything else, but in these couple of days, it was like Holy Ghost flood was going on from all the Midwest, from Detroit, Arkansas, we done seen Michigan, then around the world, and all they was talking about was trade deficits. And some of the damn places they talking about trading at is what we seeing getting fucking re-terraformed right now. Like, what the fuck? So what else did we have? We had a massive fire in Paris, y'all. And where was it at? A waste collection site. Think about it, that methane gas, all of that shit, that's combustible plasma energy. Then I tell you, it's just gonna boom without notice. I'm for real as hell about that. You understand? So then they hit where RFK gonna tell them that stop putting fluoride in the water. Again, like I said, the shit done what they wanted it to do. A little too late now, but I don't know how anybody else feel about it. I'm like, it's at least it's getting done, but shit a little too late now. This motherfucker going up in smoke. You understand? This story I've been keeping up with, y'all. It's about that man that they illegally deported to El Salvador that they saying they can't fucking find. That dude who was a protected citizen. This is an interesting one to watch because the judge is ordering them to return the man. Now, y'all, how the hell, how y'all can't find the man? Where the man go, bro? Like, I'm for real, y'all. I'm not BSing about that. Like, what you mean you can't find him? I mean, you just sent them over there. Like, where could he be, bro? Like, y'all. People do good to study history. Because that sounds like some Third Reich shit to me. And that's all I got to say. Who knows what happened to them people once they get over there? Who checking for them? Didn't they say they was exterminating them people for fucking years and years before the world figured out that them people was getting exterminated? Supposedly. I don't even want to think about it, bro. That's, you talking about Satan reigning loose on earth again. It's getting realer than real out here in these streets for real. So Idaho getting ready to just put ivermectin over the counter. That mean ain't no ivermectin finna be no good, y'all. So find something else. Tell you straight like that, bro. Tell you straight like that. If they putting it over the counter, it ain't no more good for you 9 times out of 10. They done added something to it or something. Try to get it before they do that shit. You understand? Or find a replacement. That's the way I go with it. This was an article where they were talking about that baby boomers replace millennials as America's largest share of home buyers. How sad is that, y'all? It should be the opposite. You understand what I'm saying? Young people should be out buying old people with houses. But this means that the economy and stuff is so bad that millennials don't even have a shot at home ownership anymore. That old people that's already got homes or whatever, that's probably trading up or trading down, you understand what I'm saying, is doing that. Because when it look like home buyers, that could be deceiving. It could be old people downsizing to, you understand, smaller homes, and it look like, you understand what I'm saying, but they buy and selling. So either way, that's a sad statistic to see. They being successful and forcing this generation into a damn box, not being able to own shit.
I also think what's happening is the millennials don't want to leave their house. with their parents. They'd rather live with their parents.
You know, I don't think it's that, because it's very hard out here. I just really don't think that they have the same opportunities that we had anymore. It's not there. I think that before, you could maybe get a job or maybe even work too and get out here and afford to, have your own little place and a car and everything like that. Now that's not the case. Like, you got some places right now, a 1-bedroom apartment is $3,000. Who making that just starting out this young? You got grown people that ain't even making that type of shit. You know what I'm saying though? Like, for real, like, food is ridiculous right now. Like, for decent food, I know for the food that I eat, and I'm just talking about decent food, that's like what, about 150 a week. So even if you was doing oodles and noodles, shit, that shit high now. I think shit to do oodles and noodles for probably about a month or two, it's more than what it used to be. It used to be like a couple dollars. Like, they facing a lot. High insurance, cars, the price of used cars just went up on them. Government programs shut down that used to be there for us to, like, I don't know. I lift them up. I kind of understand why they don't want to work, because what incentive do they have? You could work 40 hours a week and you still can't buy no house with it. Hell, you could work 40 hours a week right now as a millennial and can't afford an apartment in certain cities and states. So what you gonna do? Work 80 hours a week your whole life for a hovel? That's a sad ass shit. You're like, y'all, that's slavery. So to a degree, I don't know. I don't know, y'all. Any other thoughts on that, y'all?
Yeah, Empress. Just wanted to, when you were saying that we have to change over to else because ivermectin's not going to be good.
Yeah, I don't think so. If they getting ready to start offering it over the counter, anything that go OTC, they fucking with it.
Yeah, I agree. I was thinking what a good alternative could be is something that I use. And so inside any citrus fruit, we have the citric acid. There is an ingredient inside of it. It's called quinine, and this thing that they use and they put in hydroxychloroquine.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of thing to the ivermectin anyway. So what I found out, what we do is we get our lemons and oranges and grapefruits, right? And we set those. And my son, he has a dehydrator. So we dehydrate it all down to where he can grate and grate the zest part off, which is color, right? And then everything that's left underneath is the white part of the fruit, which is where the quinine is. And then we take that and we boil that into a substance. We can just grind it up into a powder, and then we can use it that way too. But at least natural way of doing it, since we can't trust stuff over the counter they're doing it, we just do it all naturally ourselves.
Yeah, and that's the best way to do it. And it's exactly what you just said, the quinine. That's the reactive intermediate in it that actually affects the pathways to do the work. So you're getting straight to the point. And it's so funny that all of this stuff is in fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. And it just go to show you that if you had a whole diet, you probably wouldn't get sick. But it's so hard to get a whole diet. You understand? That's why we so mineral depleted. You understand? Because you got to basically peel the peel off of the lemon. You understand, to get to the products now, because they done so much shit to the peel of the lemon to block it, man. All right, tribe. So that was a good recipe that Brother Eric shared. Anybody got anything else on that? All right. So China backed out of the TikTok deal. So boom, boom, they about to go down. Zimbabwe, of course, they ready to throw everything under the bus. They asked all tariffs on U.S. goods or whatever. Blah, blah, blah. You know, they trying to keep the money train going for their people, you guys. So I don't know what started happening, but it was kind of like the night of the 7th into the 8th, a lot of shit just started exploding. So y'all, this was an explosion over at Thurgood Marshall Airport of a car. I don't know what kind of car it was.
There we go. There's the guy with the plan.
Exploded though, you know.
About time, buddy.
That looked like a fireman out there. So that's the explosion at an airport in Maryland or whatever. You know, it's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of laws and stuff being reactivated and different stuff in order to give them the right to ship those Venezuelans over there without due process. You guys, please pay attention, because he wants to use those prisons for Americans too. And everything that they're doing is setting a precedent. Just know that. The European and Asian markets continue to drop. The Philippines, they had an explosion of Canlaon volcano or whatever. So that was one to watch, but that wasn't the only one, you guys. Let's see what else was important. Elon Musk is about to get hit with a $1 billion penalty. So that's something else to watch too. Very interesting. So, you guys, did y'all get to see this crazy story out of China where a dog was driving a car? Listen. You see his little ass hop out and run away.
How is he pushing the gas? How is he pressing the gas?
I don't know. I don't know. Listen, we saw it was a dog. We saw the car was moving. How was he steering the wheel and pressing the gas at the same way? I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I don't know.
Be a shapeshifter or something?
Baby. Man, Eric, I promise you just read my mind, because I thought somebody was going to hit that. You understand? Because how the hell? That's the exact question, though, that's up for grabs. How can a dog hit the gas and control the pedal? We're going to leave it there. That's China now. That's China. All right. So Russia, we had another crazy incident, like a suicide driver, y'all. That's what I'm calling this. The dude just drove into some people and just, you understand, look, like, I don't know what's going on with people. They say he jumped out of there and he fled the scene, but it was people injured or whatever. He ran away from the accident or whatever. They saying he fell asleep at the wheel. I don't know. Then, y'all, this was a crazy story about the McDonald's or whatever. Did y'all get to see this where the girl crashed out and basically threw the fries or whatever? Like, this thing it went viral or whatever because I guess how involved it was, or when she lunged the fries at the girl. Did y'all get a chance to see this? I could have swore I already talked about this. I think I might have.
That pissed me off. It did.
Yeah,
yeah, it really did. Irritated me.
We got to do better, and
yup, it's embarrassing. It was.
Like, at the end of the day, you want to be mad at them kids, but somebody didn't raise those kids. So if we're going to be mad at them, we got to be mad at ourselves, because that don't make no sense. Like, if that ain't an example to men and women to please raise your daughters, I don't know what is. You understand? Because you talking about no home training, no kind of class. You just out there. Like, no direction. Just, you hate to see it, Empress. Like, you really hate to see it. And that's the image of us, y'all. Today is plastering all over the fucking world. Like, everybody think that that's us. Like, everybody think that that's our kids. They really push this damn narrative. Like, that shit went viral on TikTok, yo. All you got is people talking about how ghetto and stuff Americans is. Don't make no fucking sense. You understand what I'm saying? Don't make no fucking sense. Moving on, y'all. This was what I was telling y'all. Remember, I told y'all I had some footage of when he ran into the cars and the shit started. So here it go, y'all. I think it's still. Look at this. That's crazy, right? So, and y'all, this nigga was carrying ethanol. They talking about 5 people was injured, but no deaths reported. Man, just because everyone reported don't mean ain't nobody died. How the hell the driver ain't died? Bruh, you done got burnt up like that? No, somebody lying, bro.
Right. I've been noticing that a lot, Empress. There so many, like, the planes crashing, but yet people will be alive, or, fires, explosions, and people are alive. No one was killed.
Injured, nobody. Yeah.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, y'all. They gonna have to explain that to me, because you saw the ethanol pour over there on some other vehicles, bro. It was people in that vehicle. Ain't no way they got the fuck out of there, bro. Like, no. I don't know, but no. I don't know. Like, shit's just getting wild. This was in what is this, Ganji province or whatever, in Ganzhou over in China. Look, y'all, the car. Now they're gonna try to say, you understand, nobody got hurt in that. Really? How could you not get hurt in that? I don't know, y'all. I don't know. This was some crazy ass shit too. So this was in Brazil. I don't know if y'all heard about this. On the 5th, another one of them damn small engine planes had to make an emergency landing on the damn highway over there.
Vai cair? Vai cair? Ah, meu caralho! Vai cair? Meu caralho! Vai cair? Vai cair?
Listen.
Cara, tira o caminhão. Ai, caralho.
Man,
Meu, puxou ainda, cara. Meu Deus do céu, cara.
Que bicho desgraçado.
Meu Deus.
Tira o caminhão.
Calma.
Nossa, que bicho conseguiu parar.
Meu caralho.
Que piloto tava assim.
Aciona a polícia.
Calma, calma.
He never called the police. Yeah, that's wild, right? They lucky ain't nobody died. You understand? And then look what that big ass truck right there, bruh. If that truck with a jackknife or something, man, listen. So y'all, more of these like suicide drivers. So this was in what is this? I think this is Bedfordshire police got reports that some pedestrians had got hit on Chapel Street, y'all. This happened, I think, on April 7th. So this probably would have been the night of, maybe. So I think this guy just drove into some people.
No, like you said.
It's still revving it too, y'all. Like, what the hell? So they holding them down, y'all. Like, what is wrong with people? Like, did y'all saw the other post for what was it, yesterday, where I showed y'all that the guy in Brazil had hit that SUV and had drug it for all of them hundreds of feet, and he was trying to say he thought he was hitting the gas. I mean the brake, but he was hitting the gas. But he drugged that car so far, you was like, ain't no way you could have thought you was hitting the brake. That's one of these same situations. Like, man, he was in there, he was still revving the gas, y'all, as the car's sitting there. Like, these people done lost their damn mind. This was a crazy one right here. I'll let y'all watch that in y'all free time and give y'all opinions on that. She basically threw the baby in there and let the baby, float. And of course, he was hollering and everything. But from what they say, when they little like that, they automatically know how to float and everything. So I guess it's kind of, I don't know. Y'all have to give me a determination on what y'all think about that one. So I already talked about the dumbass hands-off stuff that they was doing, that big march that they did or whatever. I just think that wasn't the smartest move or thing that you could do with your time. I think it was an energy harvesting ceremony, in my opinion, and I don't think going out there solved not a damn thing. But do anybody got any opinions on that, march or whatever? All of them people went out and protest, talking about hands off, dealing with immigration and all of that stuff. Did anybody got an opinion on that? All right, we'll move forward, y'all. We'll move forward. So you guys, I thought that this was crazy for a number of reasons. You understand what I'm saying? But this is a passenger ship traveling from Antarctica through the Drake Passage, y'all. Now, all of them pictures, they try to show you that we had some fucking wooden boats and stuff getting around all of these places, y'all. I want y'all to look at how these waves is hitting. Just look. Ain't no fucking way any type of ships could have got around this shit. No wooden shit. Look how big this ship, y'all. It's tossing it. Now, that's the Drake Passage near Antarctica. And also, that's a sign of it's real choppy. You see how big those waves is, though, y'all? We had to have some type of advanced technology. It couldn't be what these people were saying. You understand, to go to all of these places, because they done admitted to that it's temples in Antarctica and the ice wall and all kind of stuff. They already done admitted to that. So that just more proof, you understand, that somebody lied, because there's no way you can have no rinky-dink ass wooden ass boats and no shit like that. You're not gonna make it, bro. So the stock market was whipping, you guys. Crude oil was whipping. And what else was whipping? The Philippines was whipping. That volcano still was going off, you guys, on the 8th. So it just kept going the 7th through the 8th. We covered Arkansas already. We covered that. We covered Poland. We covered the Congo. Bulgaria, you guys, got hit with a lot of heavy snowfall, you guys. It's just record snowfall because it's like collapsing their houses and stuff. Like, you see how much snowfall it is in one day. So they kind of getting hit with the same thing. I think it was some provinces in China got hit with like just metric, like 40 centimeters deep of snow cover, you understand? So 60 meters visibility. So you understand, they just having a lot of snow. And when that snow melts, it's going to do what? Turn to water. So you're going to see a lot of flooding in Bulgaria. Just wait. I think this is Greece. So Greece done been going in and out. Like, we done seen flooding in Greece. I guess different areas must have different things. So they got hit with cold weather in northern Greece or whatever. And so they got a bunch of snow, y'all. But, I mean, it don't look that bad. It's just...
Καλημέρα και πάλι. Πώς να χαθεί αυτή η σκούπα, πώς να χαθεί.
I think what it is that's abnormal, because isn't Greece more of a like tropical like climate or Mediterranean climate? Usually I'm thinking so. I think that's what the problem was. And so it's saying crops got damaged. Yeah. So that's what it is. It's just not normally that set point, that cold there in those altitudes. So very interesting. Cincinnati, Ohio, the 6th through the 7th, y'all. This is another place they got, what was it? State of emergency. That's the part. Man, over by the bridge, I kind of... Dang, that's just the park right there. Let's see, what else they got? That shit, man, that shit high as hell, bro. So that's downtown Cincinnati that done got flooded out, y'all. I'm telling y'all, I ain't even gonna hit it no more. Temples gotta activate, y'all. Water gonna come to them places. I really do mean it. I really do mean it. Let's see what else we got. I don't want to talk about him and the ostrich. They were saying that it was one of the worst market crashes since 1929, you guys. Then here we go. The White House started. So all of a sudden they was making all of the big deal about the tariffs. Then somebody leaked a story that the White House did a report that they was going to do a 90-day tariff pause. Let me check and see if anybody need to be unmuted. So, again, smoke and mirrors, because is you going to do the tariff or not? And I think the latest is that what he ended up doing was giving everybody a pause except for China. I think he hit them with like 125% or 200% tariff, something great. So pay attention to it, you guys. Pay attention to it. So I just put this in here, you all, because there are a lot of people that are in the MAGA who is upset too now that all of these cuts and stuff is affecting them. So it's a lot of mutiny going on within the Republican Party of itself. So they all fighting with each other, y'all. Just stand back and enjoy the show. So that's why I said, here we go. Because you understand, like, these people gonna fight, y'all. I'm finna tell you right now. So this was also why I said, here we go, because here goes Zelensky allegedly posting a video of a Chinese soldier fighting for Russia, y'all. Look at this shit.
走到地方，呜呜，嘣嘣嘣嘣嘣嘣嘣嘣嘣，然后我的 commander， 嘣，然后就，哇，然后就啊，然后我就我。
Yeah, I don't think that's real.
No.
Thank you. If they had got a Chinese soldier, they would have got his body. Because don't they carry like cyanide pills to kill themselves or something if they ever get captured? But I do think that that's a psyop to get the people ready to try to say, you understand, Russia and China fighting together. You understand, like, they really want to press this agenda. Bruh, I'm not doing shit but getting out the way. Whatever way it shake out. Whatever these people get ready to do, whatever they gonna do, y'all, just get out the way. Because that shit's smoke and mirrors right there. And you can obviously tell, too, because it's all in front of the camera and stuff. Like, if he was really captured, you think he gonna show his face on camera? He know he can't go back to China. You know what I'm saying? Like, so then all of a sudden, the U.S. stocks just all went into the green, and I knew that it was them rich people playing, motherfuckers. You understand? That was them, you understand, buying some stocks to make it look like the stock market was rebounding. So I just put an eye right there, because no sooner than they did that, then today it went right back down. So I knew it was going to. This was a crazy ass story right here. So did y'all get to see this? Can y'all see that? Can y'all see my screen?
Yes.
So, hold on a second. Let's see. Did it block the thing? So this right here says the Harris team had crafted a plan for Biden's death, including GOP deaf judge pool rosters and stuff, y'all. So they literally had developed a detailed strategy to implement should President Biden have died while he was in office, y'all. Ooh, that's crucial. You understand? Hold on, I'm trying to go back to the meeting. Man, y'all. That means probably the whole time he wasn't even there. You understand what I'm saying, though? Like, on some for real. You understand? Like, that I don't know who was running our country while that motherfucker was in there, but they literally was bold enough to actually write out a plan for his death. So that means, you know, they was in there not being honest with the American people at all. So from the gate, they must have just medicated him up good enough to make it through the election. And then, you understand, somebody else was running this country. I'd be interested to know who had the auto pen, wouldn't y'all? I'd be interested to know who was doing all that shit. Very interested. Very interested, y'all. Very interested. Okay, you guys. So what else did we have? So we started getting video out of Western Cape Province in South Africa that they going through what? Flooding in areas too. You see that? You see that car float right there?
When you're on Glover Road, actually, approaching the R27, please be careful, very flooded here.
Okay. So they getting some real deal shit going on there too, y'all. That just show you right there. And they talking about that's extreme rainfall. My ass, okay? My ass. But let's keep going. Then you got Saudi Arabia, same day. This is in Mecca. Look how high that water is, you guys. You understand what I'm saying? That water freaking moving. Hold on, where another one? Y'all. So that's Saudi Arabia, right? They was still talking about the tariffs on China and everything, and so the yuan or whatever hit a historic, the yuan or whatever hit a historic low. It was just a whole bunch of stuff that they was doing with the markets, but I just feel like it was such a fucking distraction because in the end, what did he end up doing? He didn't do none of that tariff shit to nobody except for China, y'all. So that tells you what? It had to just be a distraction. You understand what I'm saying? But let's see what the play is. You understand? I think this was an important signal that the Middle Eastern Spectator picked up. So several high-ranking U.S. military officials was in Tel Aviv having important consultations, y'all. Like, it's some shit getting ready to break loose over there, and they the ones that's prepping for it, y'all. Just pay attention to that. It's gonna get real interesting, real interesting. I'm not gonna play this video right here, but it was a video about a British couple getting kicked off a Ryanair flight and met by police because they failed to pay a $9 in-flight snack payment for a Coke and a bottle of water and some Pringles. Like, shit getting real, motherfucker. You understand when you get met by the police for trying to stiff them on some snacks. Goddamn, bring your own if that's the case. You understand? Like, shit getting too real. So that might be something interesting to watch because I just think that's an overkill of power to be out here doing people like that. This right here was a video, and this ain't got her actually jumping, but Miss Europe or whatever, this was another like some crazy stuff that's been going on this week. She just Miss Turkey, you understand, Miss Europe or whatever, she was trying to flee from the police, and she just fell off of a ramp, y'all, like some Final Destination shit, and fell off the ramp and fell down to the ground, and then she ended up getting hit by a truck. Like, that's the area she fell in or whatever, you understand? So it's kind of like she fell, and then when she fell, the fall ain't what killed her. She got hit by a truck that was coming by. Tough luck, right? So, this right here was another one of those die suddenly things. I don't know if y'all got to see it, where the boy was out there playing cricket and he just collapsed dead, grabbed his heart and collapsed.
No, I didn't see that one.
All right, I'm going to play this one just to let people know this still going on too. While we got every distraction, kids still doing this. It ain't got no sound, but you're going to see them in a second. Think he got on the white shirt. You see that? Like, that's wild. He just collapsed, like, you understand? He hit his chest and then he just fell flat on his face. It's like a crazy arrhythmia, yo. Sad. You understand? Sad. I don't know what the hell was going on here. But something happened with this lady's Tesla, y'all, and it sent her launching into the fucking air. Listen, I stay the hell out them motherfucking Teslas. It's too much shit going the fuck on with them motherfuckers. That's just me personally. I know people have paid a lot of money for them, but shit launching through the air and stuff like that, you talking about you gonna investigate it? Like, bruh, what the fuck? Like, the hell? I don't know, y'all. I don't know. So, this is something that's another sign the Matrix is up, y'all. So, slot machines suddenly cut off at Sky River Casino. Look how they was in there acting. This how they gonna be when the end come, y'all. The end gonna come, and these motherfuckers gonna be just like this. Just as good as I'm telling you, they gonna be sleep to the fucking end, bro. Sleep to the end. Like, it's so much shit going on, and they in there pulling slots right now. Lord have mercy. So that was the Ave. This was all of the stuff that happened, you know, over the last couple of days. I put that into the group for you all, you understand? So if you just wanted to catch up on that and didn't want to watch all of the videos, I showed y'all that Kentucky was getting busy. I didn't get to show y'all Ireland. Y'all, tell me what country I ain't hit in these last 2 days, or what continent. All right, let's get it. So we over in Ireland, y'all. So they having brush fires. Remember, we got the volcano over there going off. What is it? Reykjavik or whatever. So I guess what they're having is a burn off or whatever. Like, these fires are breaking out over there too. So you got the plasma energy splitting part of it in half. Remember, they had to evacuate that town. And now you got, no, this is Ireland. That's Iceland. Reykjavik is in Iceland. Excuse me. My bad, y'all. I'm sorry. So many of them going down. This is Ireland over there. I'm sorry, with the Irish people. So the Irish people then, I'm sorry, y'all. I misspoke. It's not a volcano, y'all. This is actually brush fires. Good grief. So plasma energy burning them up over in Ireland. What else we got? France. More plasma energy burning them up too, y'all. Look at this. Let's see what we got. What we got. So we got some pictures, but yeah, look like a good little clip burning there, y'all. So what they saying, 190 hectares of vegetation have burnt by Pool de Redon in the Sancy Massif. They saying that the fire was brought under control, but variable winds increased the fears that it might flare back up again. So that's April 7, y'all, over in France. Then y'all, this was a crazy one over in Lebanon. Y'all, look at this dust storm that just blowed through. So real deal stuff going on over there. Then in Ecuador, y'all, they had another hit. You know, when they get hit, they get it's a lot going on in Ecuador, y'all. So that was Quito, Ecuador. Then on the 9th, y'all, we had Kilauea went off over in Hawaii. So it was giving off some spectacular shows down there. People was recording and stuff. A lot going on. So now on the 9th in Honduras or whatever. So we got Honduras, y'all.
Seguidores de las redes sociales de televisión de Tocoa. Nos hemos desplazado hacia las instalaciones del Instituto Técnico.
Outside of school, you enter and overstand. So that's Honduras. You understand? Then they went on ahead and snuck this in on the back of the Sneaky to Sneak. Flu vaccine linked to higher infection, says early research. Oh, you don't think? The only fucking time I ever caught the flu was when I took the flu shot. I know it's some other people the same way as me, bro. I done seen people take it and get sick, and that's the only time they got sick was when they took it. Man, I ain't even gonna get into that. You understand? Y'all, up at Texas Southern University, they had a shelter in place, y'all, that was responding to a shooting near the campus. I didn't get no updates on that. I don't know if anybody heard anything else about that. Frontier, y'all, they heard some beeping on there. So as a precautionary search, you understand, they had started searching the cargo hold. Frontier done had some crazy shit going on Frontier the last couple of days or whatever. Because there was another incident at Frontier where a brother got arrested or whatever because he kept on lighting a lighter. Like, I don't know what's going on, but that was at Atlanta Dulles, y'all. That was going on. I think we talked about Colombia. Colombia, I don't know if we
En ese momento acaba de llegar
but they
la
have
chiva para
a lot of rain and landslides, y'all. As y'all could see, like, you see how bad it's flooding there. Like, just look at the aerial view. It's getting bad in Colombia. You understand what I'm saying? And I think last week they was throwing, or either yesterday when I read it, they was throwing some codes about Colombia being a terrorist state. And remember, I'm like, what the fuck is they talking about? Colombia always have been a terrorist state. This got to be some type of signaling. So they must be talking about this shit finna go up, nigga. Like, it's finna go down. Like, y'all, this water... Cocaine finna be high than a bitch, bro. Cause all of that water, you know, them fields getting flooded out, bro. Come on, mudslides and shit in the mountains, bro. Somebody losing some. I'm just saying that's the way it's supposed to go. It's finna get real. That's just more pictures from Cali, Colombia, pretty much showing how high that water is, y'all. Y'all see that? You understand? It's up to storefront windows and stuff. So Colombia getting a fair share. We talked about Cape Western, Cape South Africa. I think I showed y'all some of these. That's so disgusting. Oh, I can't take it, y'all. I'm sorry. When I see trash floating in water now and people walking in it, I can't do it. Y'all see it's filthy. Something need to blow through that mug and clean it out. So what else did we have? We had Poas volcano in Costa Rica went down on the 8th as well. So y'all can see, like, I think this is a time-lapsed version of it or whatever. You can see it's just letting off little smoke over there towards the right-hand side of the screen. And then as the time elapses further, you're going to just see more and more little ash pour out of it or whatever. And it just pretty much, you know, it's not the fact that these volcanoes is getting active. It's the fact that you got so many of them active in one day. You understand? Or in a short span of time. You see what I'm saying? Like, some getting ready to go. It's finna go down. You understand? Like, this is still active right now. It's just getting bubbly. You understand what I'm saying? Like, bruh. Shit's too real. Then you got here in Sicily, y'all, Mount Etna started erupting again too. All right, so that's the same day. You understand what I'm saying? All this stuff going on. Then in Pakistan, I think we talked about them and stuff getting the hailstorms and the rain. We talked about the Philippines because that was still going off, y'all, even through the 9th, and through the 10th. We talked about Saudi Arabia. We talked about Kilauea. That's just more photos of that, you guys. So then in China, they got hit with that Holy Ghost hail again, y'all. Just look at the crystallization on that, y'all. That's very unstable ionosphere, man. China ain't finna have to worry about it very soon. That's why I don't even care. You understand? Y'all, it's a deadly outbreak going on where in Nigeria. So they got 151 people dead. They say it's something rapidly spreading. It's some type of form of, guess what? Meningitis. Well, didn't they give them people that hot sauce over there? Remember, they pushed that shit on them over there. I'm not shocked that they got meningitis. Remember, people over here was getting the meningitis too. Wasn't that last year they was getting meningitis? So we'll see what happened with that. Oil prices tumbled, y'all. Gold prices soared, of course. U.S. stocks started falling again. You understand? Just like I said, that was a false signal, y'all. Trump started warning people it's going to be transition cost or whatever. No more deal with TikTok or whatever. You guys, this was a crazy story out of Jamaica. I just wanted to caution everybody. I don't know though, it's probably too late, but a damn container of chicken washed up over in Portmore, y'all. They tried to say that it was supposed to go to another neighboring island. So it washed up, right? It was still in the freezer. These dumb niggas done went and done took the chicken out, y'all, and started eating the chicken, y'all, and done got sick. Just this common sense, bruh. Ain't nothing for free, right, y'all? Like, come on. Who sends a container of chicken to Jamaica to Portmore, bruh? You know not to eat that chicken. So they like a lot of people done got sick off that shit. I don't know what all's true and what all's not. You understand? Today, the latest story I heard, people was turning into zombies. I don't know if I believe that. You know, Jamaicans are taken to the furthest extreme. But I do think people get sick as hell from it because, you know, chicken harbors all kind of vectors for disease. You understand? So what's the easiest way to poison them motherfuckers? Put it in the chicken. So y'all, this was a crazy story right here out of Philly. You understand? So y'all, they was trying to be pallbearers and stuff, and the whole platform collapsed and caught the all the pallbearers got hurt and the man's son. Look at this.
Short steps. The pallbearers carried Benjamin Aviles to his final resting spot. As they began to lay down the casket, the platform above the burial site collapses, sending the men plunging into the burial hole.
It was just a horrible incident that happened in a bad moment.
Aviles' stepdaughter, Maribel Rodriguez, says the men who fell into the hole all suffered injuries, mostly to their legs, hands, and back. Aviles' son suffered the worst of it.
The casket laid on top of him, and he was out like a light. His face was in the mud.
I ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna say nothing. Another crazy incident that happened, y'all. All of this happened like in the last day or so. I saw this, and I just want to caution people of falling trees, y'all. It's realer than real. Like, look at that. And watch this, y'all. The grace of God be with her. You enter and understand what else crazy as hell happened, y'all. It's plasma energy apparent. This is Arkansas. Look. So it was some crazy stuff happened in Chicago. Crazy stuff happened with this incident right here, y'all. Did y'all get a chance to look at this one? This one is one of those things where I'm like, yo, they is definitely walked in. So this woman from New Jersey, Naomi Elk, she's 27. She drowned her two daughters, ages 1 and 3, and she was found guilty by reason of insanity. The judge ordered her to serve 2 lifetimes, y'all, 2 life sentences, 150 years in a psychiatric hospital. This lady said that she killed her daughters, believed that killing her daughters would destroy all the evil in the world. She also claimed to be a descendant of Hitler and evil entities. Any thoughts? Anybody got any thoughts on that? Like, it's wild. I think that's a real walk-in. Yo, I believe everything she's saying. I believe that she do got entities in her. You understand? I'm not gonna play it because I do believe in energy transference. But if you're interested in watching it, seeing the way her behaviors is, like, everything about her behavior tells me that it's some type of high art demon in her exacting shit. I just think that it's interesting that they chose this story, but then again, you understand these people be broadcasting stuff. Sometimes I think they broadcast certain stuff to send certain energies and entities straight to you. You understand what I'm saying? You just gotta know what you're dealing with. Y'all, this was a sad and crazy story right here. Watch your kids. You understand, for real. So this lady saw this video of this daycare worker basically jacking her son up. And you know, this lady only got charged with child neglect and spent 2 weeks in jail. Look what she did to this child.
They believe this video shows a worker carry their son by his arms to a seat, then fling him out of his chair. Then they say the worker appears to force something into his mouth. They believe it was another child's melatonin.
And then she goes directly to my son and forced what she claimed was candy into his mouth. I don't believe it's candy. I never will. But whether it was candy or not, you just don't shove something into a child's mouth. It's clearly making you know that they don't want it.
21-year-old Kendall Harris was arrested and spent 2 weeks in jail, charged with child neglect. She tells News 2 that she was frustrated by ongoing behavior issues with Silas. However, she says he flipped out of her arms. She didn't throw him. She adds that she's worked in childcare for 2.5 years and gave Silas a lifesaver, not melatonin.
She was way too comfortable knowing that there's cameras in the facility. I feel like she was way too comfortable, behaving that way and treating him that way.
The Thompsons are grateful they decided to pay extra for video access, something they had just signed up for the day before.
So I just want that, exposure and to hope that, she never gets to work with kids again and care for people's kids.
We only seen that one incident. There's no telling what we didn't see or, he's only 3. He ain't, he can talk, but he's not to the point where he can just have on a full-blown conversation. So it ain't like he can tell us what has happened in the past.
Ain't that crazy? You see how she flung that child?
That's awful.
It really is, bro. It couldn't have been my jit.
Criminal.
Bro, I'm going straight to jail, bro, after I beat you to death. But what? You done flung... Like, y'all, she could have broke that baby's back, neck, anything, bro. Thank goodness kids got a lot of cartilage, bro. You know what I'm saying? And everybody can't be up over your kids right now. That's apparent. Okay, y'all. So what was the big story? The big story is another one of these motherfucking planes that fell out the air, y'all. Did y'all hear about this over the Hudson? Look. Anybody else want to pick up my mantra? Y'all know what I done been saying about shit. I'm so tired of saying it. I'm going to just close my window. Y'all, ain't nothing else to say. All right. That's it, slap in the water. All right. That's it, in the water. All right. What else we got? Look at this. The hell? Oh, look. Probably finna hit a plasma pocket. Look, you can tell. Right there. Like, what the fuck? Like, how did everybody catch this plane at that moment?
Let's take you live to New York. It is nearly 10 to 4 there in the afternoon. The New York Police Department.
I think they said, wasn't it like 3 adults and 3 children or something like that?
Yeah, and it was the man was like some high tech person from Spain, right?
Yeah, look. I don't know. Shit, that shit that looked like it fell in the water looked like it ain't have no tail on the back of it. The way it was, like, it looked like it was rudderless in the back. Look, y'all, I don't know.
It looked like it exploded and then fell.
Yeah. Look, I don't know. It's getting realer than real. So that's all that I had for up to the 10th, because I was going to go through the 10th. And then y'all know I'm going to pick up with the 11th for next week. But does anybody have anything they want to share? Y'all, that was a lot. I got to take a smoke. Like, y'all, I done been taking breaks from this shit because let me tell you something. Don't let none of this stuff come between you and your ascension. It's been a lot of heavy cosmic energy that's been going down and stuff. We had a real big experience in the spiritual group or whatever, where we was actually a part of that when we saw the line. Eric saw the line, the ships and stuff, and it actually buzzed us out the discussion. It was so powerful. So it's a lot of stuff you could be doing now, man. Don't let these people distract you right now, bruh. That's where I'm at with it. I feel like it's a whole bunch of high arc distractions going on right now, bro. Anybody else got anything or any thoughts about any of this? Because I know I went through a lot of stuff.
Yeah, Empress. I just wanted to say, just from my perspective and some of the things I've been noticing around my area. Today, I seen some kids. They look like they're probably about good high school. There was a couple boys. They were coming home from school, had their backpacks on, and they walked by me, and I overheard the conversation. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm going over there right now." He was like, "Yeah, she's my grandmother, but she better not be fucking kicking me out the house." He was like, "I ain't gonna have it. I got my knife." And I'm like, "What the hell? This dude, he's talking about pulling a knife on his grandma?" I'm like, I said, "Yeah, I think it's a lot of chaos energy going around and people not knowing how to handle it. Like, they're kind of going off the edge a little bit." And so I was like, I didn't know what was going on. So I was like, I was hoping that it didn't turn out bad,
Yeah, that's all you can do. But I'm telling you, them demons is apparent, bro. Boy, they is apparent. People is walked in. It's all kind of blood shit going on, like real families killing each other stuff, like grandkids killing grandparents, grandmamas killing grandkids and stuff. Like, it's some real family shit going on right now. I don't know what's up with that energy. I done been seeing a lot of it on YouTube. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of people that got a lot of issues with family members that's unresolved, and I really feel like if you vibrating at the lowest angle, these people becoming more animalistic, losing patience with would have been maybe a family altercation or argument is now turning into murder. Because who thinks to take a knife to their grandma? Like, these kids ain't got no type of sensitivity to violence anymore, bro. Like, they all the way desensitized to it. And then they lack the respect for authority.
Yeah, and that's probably why he's probably trying to kick him out, because he's acting and talking violently like that.
Of course. And you got a grandchild threatening you with a knife? Bro, I'm putting you in the dirt. Telling you right now. Bro, I don't care. It shouldn't have never came to that. That's a failure of the whole family. She done failed as a grandma to let your grandson get that out of control, that he done lost so much respect for you that he coming at you with a knife. We can't just say it's that child's fault. Somebody had to raise it. It's the monster coming back to visit them, y'all. You understand? It's chickens coming home to roost. You got to ask yourself the question, why is the grandma raising the child? Oh, because the parent ain't there. Why the parent ain't there? Something happened in that parent's life that won't right. Never got corrected. That energy passed on to that son. Never got corrected. And now that shit coming to roost. Mm. I done seen it. You understand? I done personally seen it. I was personally on the chat when a man struck his own grandson. You understand what I'm saying? That energy, bruh, that energy is apparent. And if you don't know how to harmonize with it, bruh, just eating people up, y'all. I'm telling you, them shadows, bruh. That's just my real thoughts on it. Like, we in a real time of the mirror. You understand that shit? It's a mirror. What seeds did you sow, bro? And then in some instances, it ain't even the seeds you sowed. It's just what it is. That's when a motherfucker better learn the art of detachment. Because that's what I'm talking about right there. She should have been detached from that grandchild. If you understand, it ain't her doing, but you don't know. But like this shit, it gets so complicated, Eric. You understand what I'm saying? You talking about a family history of problems. That's apparent if the grandma got the child.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
And you understand, a lot of these grandmas ain't grandmas no more. A lot of these women ain't have time to be grandmas, and that shit coming back to bite them in their ass, bro. I just feel like if she set the right principles in her grandson, took the right time with him, that thought couldn't have never even crossed his mind. Have too much admiration and respect. And nurturing is a big deal. A lot of women ain't have time to nurture their grandsons, their sons, bro. Them chickens coming home to roost now, bro. I tell anybody, the art of detachment is real, because you don't even want to get up and call in a bystander shit now. Like, it's bystander stuff going on. You know, it was a situation where a young lady was talking to me. She was out at a cookout, and she was there with some friends, and a guy and a girl got to arguing there about him talking to another girl that was there. And so the girl said that the guy, you know what I'm saying, that she noticed that he have a habit of trying to talk to other women to make the girlfriend jealous, right? So just follow me, this story going somewhere. So they all sitting in the garage. So him and the girl go to arguing. So the girl is the one with all of the money and the means, okay? All right. So the girl grabbed the keys and like she finna leave his ass there because it's her car, the car in her name. So I guess he got embarrassed or whatever, because basically he's leeching off of this girl and cheating on her, doing her wrong. All of a sudden, he hauls off and he slaps the lady in front of everybody down there. The girl goes and tries to intervene and help the other lady. She said before she could do anything, the guy pulls out a gun. So she's sitting there in between him, the girl, and the gun. 15 seconds, y'all. Now her life in danger because she done got in the middle of some shit. It was men down there. She said the men watched until she started hollering like, is y'all gonna do something? This nigga got a gun. Y'all just think, if that man wanted to shoot, everybody could have been dead right then. So then she like, the dudes and him went to tussling for the gun, and she got up and ran for the kids. Because it's kids in the house while all of this going on. Something as little as going to a cookout right now could cost you your life. You know how many angles of protection was on that girl? And that's how it's going out here, y'all. We seeing it on Live Leak right now. Incidences that would have maybe been a little argument is turning into real murder scenes, y'all. Everything is getting more chaotic. And either you going to thrive in this time or you going to go down. But you got to know, like, you got to be operating in more than just the physical right now, man. It's just too apparent. And even when you're doing that, sometimes you might still end up in a situation. And it's in them times you hope you got some angles of protection so you just have an experience. It's the best I could give people. Any more thoughts or anybody got anything else?
This is kind of, this is off the topic really in a way, but this whole conversation here, I've noticed something strange with my phone. Every time I put my hand in front of the screen, it goes black. And when I remove it, it comes, the picture comes back on, the screen comes back on. And if I put a finger, it doesn't do anything. It's when I put my palm in front of the phone, the screen goes black. I don't know if it's just my phone, but it's not happening on I've done it on other apps and it's not happening. I put my palm in front of it and nothing happens. But during our conversation here, that continuously is happening. What do you think that is?
Us channeling energy. If you remember last year, I was having the same problem when I would wave my palm in front of the phone. It would cut the screen off and everything. And I was like,
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I was having the same exact thing, Empress. It's your auric field boosted, man. And it'll interfere with your phone. But especially you guys, we're channelers, and when we all get on conversations and stuff, it does be a lot of energy. Like it can overheat the phone and different stuff like that. Like I've been noticing that very more now. Like I think I was on the phone with Sue K, if y'all remember doing the live, and my phone just overheated like that. So there's a lot of that going on right now. You're a plasma beam. So you excite protons and stuff. And so the phone is designed to read, you understand what I'm saying, excited particles. And if you excite them, you understand by waving your hand, it's going to do something.
Yeah.
Especially on the Telegram, because we channeling in here, like we sharing a lot of energy coming through these the microphone and everything.
Sure are.
Mm-hmm. Y'all little plasma beams radiating out so much energy. Anybody got anything else? That was a good one though, Susan. That was a good one. Cause I think we draining our phones too. I think like I don't know. I think I'm draining mine. Like I'm not touching it tonight. If you notice, now that I'm not touching it, it's not overheating. But if I put it in my palm, that's it. You understand? It's gonna be about maybe 30 minutes to an hour, and it's gonna overheat bad. Like I don't know, y'all. We changing to a degree. What else y'all got? Anybody got anything else or anything that they noticed? I know it was some stuff that Stedman had put in and stuff that Conscious Juice done been on. I ain't been keeping up with like everything, cause y'all for real, like I done been ascending and I done been asleep. Like I be in the bed. Like y'all, I know stuff going on. Like you could feel it. It's stuff that's happening. You understand? But it's just like I'm just so unconcerned with it. You understand? Or it's just like I already kind of feel like I'm already prepared for, the craziness. So I don't know. These last couple of days, we had to been getting some real X flares or something like that because I done just been sleeping and not even wanting to eat like that much. Like y'all, it was the weirdest experience I had yesterday or whatever, and I'm going to the fresh market because I got 2 meals that I got to take back to them. It was just like you know how you get the fresh meals, the ones that the chef make or whatever. So y'all know I'm like going in between having to give up fish or whatever. So I was like, man, it just looked so good. I was like, I'm gonna get this ginger salmon. You understand what I'm saying? Ginger salmon and asparagus with potatoes, man. Yo, I promise y'all, when I open up that bag of salmon, it just smells so rancid. And maybe it wasn't rancid, but it was just like the smell of it, I could not take it, bro. And I just called him and I'm like, I'm going to bring it back. And then part of me was like, I don't know if this fish really is rancid. Because I was looking for like, the white film and stuff that be on it when it rancid. I didn't see that. But it just smelled rancid to me, y'all. It's like I could smell the death in the fucking meat.
Did y'all already talk about that chicken that came ashore in Jamaica?
Yeah, I told them about that chicken that came ashore in Portsmouth and them people ate it and now they getting sick. And like I said, it's Jamaica, so take it with a grain of salt. But the last report that came out of there from the thing that I was following, one of those guys that's from there talking about that some of the people was turning into zombies. Now I don't know if I believe that. That might just be some clickbait, but I do believe that motherfuckers got sick as hell from that shit. And I do believe it's probably some type of toxin, you understand, that was in that chicken is gonna make people fucked up. Shouldn't have ate it. Man, I'd have pushed that container back out to the goddamn sea.
Was that not the equivalent of the so-called story of the measles and the blankets for the Indians? God dang.
Come on. Listen, the exact equivalent, wasn't it? The motherfucking blankets washed up on the shores or something? Man, listen. Look, they'll never get me that quick and easy.
I don't understand how we've been through all that we've been through, and even like people from Jamaica though, like I don't know why, I just thought maybe I've seen too many Rastas or seen so many calm, cool people who don't trust from there that I just thought this is common sense to not do that. Of course, you know, everybody's not the same, but for real,
No,
for real.
Empress, for real. I was like, how in the hell? I'm like, times must be hard as fuck there and somebody not telling me that y'all would really risk taking some chicken that show up in a container done washed up on the sea, my nigga. Like, and that's
Exactly
what you
whoever dropped it off intended. Like they probably were laughing watching them while they did that mess because Negroes and chicken, bam.
Nigga, they put the exact right thing there that they knew melanated people would eat. You think it's a mistake that a whole container full of chicken fall on your island and think about where it's at. Out of all of the places that it could have probably propped up and wouldn't have caused no mass casualty incident, it's gonna pop up in Portmore.
This is it looks, I know it's not staged, but it does not make sense for it to be 2025 and these people actually did that. I can see if they were starving, there was like, you remember what happened in Haiti and the earthquake and all that, and then people are starving and they see this chicken and yay, but no.
But no, that's why I'm like, bruh, is it worse than what y'all letting us know down there? Like, cause bruh, I got family from there. Y'all need to explain to me why it even. Man, that shit should have been kicked back out to the ocean. I wouldn't even let that shit stay on my shore. You like, and I'm like, why did the government know that it washed up and they just gonna make an announcement and tell people to eat it after we already got the videos of people breaking open the container eating the shit? Like, what kind of shit is this? Because even the government could have went and you understand? Like, why they, like, bruh, the setup, it be your own people, bruh.
Man, they know everything, see everything, got all these satellites, all this stuff to monitor us 24/7 in the sky, but they still can't supposedly find these missing kids. And then they didn't know this big ass thing is in their waters. They knew. Everybody, they know everything anyway. So I'm sorry, that one, yeah.
You so right, Empress. That's why it's so infuriating to the left, because you sitting here and you like, bruh, I know y'all saw this big ass crate because you the motherfucker that put it out there and put it in the trajectory for Portmore. Ain't no damn way in hell. You understand all of them riptides and stuff going on right now? It just so happened they talking about it fell off of a boat that was headed to a different island. Nigga, please. Y'all just think about that. Y'all, just somebody, please. Ain't no fucking way. Out there in the Caribbean where the damn Bermuda Triangle and all of that shit is, that shit would have went out in one of them channels and went out into the sea. How the hell that shit wash up on Portmore damn coastline? Right where all the people at. Y'all could. That's why I be smoking, because these motherfuckers really be trying to insult our intelligence down here, bro.
Exactly.
Like,
you know what's funny is, sorry. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Go ahead. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, since Eric had the Arizona lights in the sky, it was nothing there was nothing that could really top it anyway. We've had the earthquakes, we had the volcanoes, all the stuff that was going on. And then that moment, it was obviously a confirmation for us. But then, was it the next day? I don't even remember. And then that chicken thing happened. Oh my God. It set us back 1,000 years.
Look, listen, them people was already set back because the chicken had done that before Eric saw the spaceships, y'all. It just had hit the news because I think the day before the spaceship incident, which is being reported by a lot of people now, a lot more people than just, they even saw it over in Texas and stuff. People saw them lights, them string of lights, bruh.
Wow.
So this is what I'm saying then. That was some real deal shit right there. Because if you could visualize it all the way from Arizona to Texas, people in Texas was reporting about it and stuff. You understand? That's some heavy shit right there. But
you try to blame it on Elon, hopefully, please.
Look, I don't even think they even tried to say what it was, did they?
I looked the next morning and I just figured that I thought maybe because of what it looked like to us that it would be taken down, because you know how they are when it's the real stuff.
Yeah.
They just take it, they wipe it or whatever. But I didn't even try. I you posted it on your Instagram. I reposted it and then just let it go, because seeing it that time was just enough. It was enough for me. So
it was enough for me too, y'all. And let me just say, I think it was so many people that visualized that they couldn't wipe it, bruh, because that shit literally beamed our spiritual group. Like, we didn't have a way to ignore that it happened.
Where we were talking about, it didn't go back to none of this other stuff again, that's for sure.
That's the truth right there. So, listen, it's some real deal stuff going on. And like I said, if you look and you see how all of this earth is terraforming, these motherfuckers talking about trade deals, bitch, is that even still finna be here to trade with? Like, that's why I'm like, y'all, it's some real stuff going on in the world. And I think the more and more they hollering about this trade, this war, all of this shit that don't matter, the more and more is a signal and a sign that you need to be, looking the other way, because they is the distraction right now. For sure. They damn sure ain't the solution to nothing right now, y'all. Like, they can't solve nothing for you, bruh.
I just remember that every single time that something serious was going on, they would use Trump in court, or it would be some kind of something, and he would come up, or they'd use Diddy, of course, or something. It would always be somebody that would be just the entertainment to cover up whatever was going on at the time. Now that he's in office, this just feels like football, how football used to feel like when people were literally on the opposite side of the other person. Like, they would get in fights and stuff because of how bad it was. That's what it feels like these tariffs are doing to people, because it's really not that I don't think it's that serious. I know now it's a split world. So
yeah, we living in two different realities, because these people's mind is so easily controlled right now that you really, as an awakened being, have to just sit back and observe. That's what I'm at now, because I'm just like, if you can't see it, I ain't gonna never be able to make you see it. Like, Donald Trump is the biggest distraction, but they set him up to be a distraction for people with The Apprentice. Program their mind to be entertained by this clown. Now he up there, they all up there, they running a goddamn circus, bruh. It's all kind of real shit happening. If you really think about it, it wasn't for Donald Trump and his focus on the terrorists, and them crashing, the stock market crash. If it wasn't all of that distracting people, what else would they be talking about? All of these people that done died in the Midwest, all of this flooding, what would be on the world news? All the natural disasters and stuff that's going on. But only thing the world news is covering is how other countries feel about these tariffs. You see how it's a distraction?
Always ends up being back to us in China, no matter what it is. It's always
Fact.
TikTok when it was supposedly a bat in the in the facility that COVID came from, like all that stuff from back when his first presidency. So yeah.
Yeah, because China, we already done been infiltrated by China, y'all. Wake up. They already done infiltrated the government. They creating their own enemy because they want to weaken us so they can, you know what I'm saying, have an excuse in the world for when they would try to strike. They some yellow belly pussies, bro. Like they always been. They out of time though. That plan ain't even gonna come together because the earth had a different plan, y'all. That's just straight up. We getting ready to have to see how it play out, but I know it's gonna get more chaotic. I know it's gonna be more rumors of war. I expect a lot of terrorism and stuff on this land coming. Cells and shit like that. They're gonna be looking at ways to try to institute martial law. I don't know if all of that's gonna be able to take place though. Because eventually it's gonna get to the point, you guys, with all of these natural disasters and stuff, that people gonna start taking more notice to that than to them. Because they're gonna begin to get affected. One video that I didn't get a hold of, but that's on my TikTok. I'm gonna get a hold of it for next week, I think. When I go over this, is I don't know where it was in the US, yo, but somebody that's on TikTok might could back me up if they saw the video, but the sky was blood fucking red. This happened in the last couple days, y'all. I was looking for that. I was looking for that because when that sky turned blood red, like y'all, that's the signal that it's getting ready to start. And sure enough, all that Midwestern shit is flooding really bad. Y'all gotta think back to when they saw that goddamn red dawn sky over in China and shit, y'all, in 2023. They saw it over in Japan in 2023. Right after that was when the Holy Ghost earthquake started, bro. And the land started shifting. And it was landslides and more water. That shit's happening here too, y'all. Landslides, water. And what else we got now? Fucking wildfires, y'all. Everywhere. Soon everybody gonna be paying attention to that. And then that's when it's gonna get real, real. I'm already there. Y'all know I done been hitting the alarm for the last 2 current events. Like, bro, we in it. The world is asleep, y'all. They gonna go like this to the end, bro, because we at the end. Just as good as I'm sitting here. Anybody got anything else? Y'all sure? All right, y'all. Well, I think it was a good discussion tonight. I think we covered most of the events that happened, for through the 10th. There was some stuff that came out in the media that I didn't cover here, but that's in the group for you all, to go over in your free time, some articles and stuff that I put in there that y'all might be interested in and stuff. So when you have time, take some time and go through that. And I'll be back on. I'm thinking I'm going to come back on next week, and I'm going to do one more. And then you guys know I usually take a little break from current events, like doing the lives. And I'm going to start back probably like in May or June with the lives. But like when I'm saying I take a break from the lives, but I still be putting information in there and stuff. But it'd be a really busy time for me with the spiritual group, because I be setting up like the stuff. I'm going to be setting up stuff for the book club and stuff like that. So, and doing a lot of stuff with my Patreon. So I'm going to take about a 6-week hiatus from the live discussions in here. But if anything like really big is coming or anything like that, I will do like an impromptu live and invite you guys. I already know it's going to be some big events that's going to happen during those weeks, y'all. And that's part of the reason why I'm taking off too. Because I really feel like, and this is truly, truly what I mean, that being grounded, spiritual defense, y'all, is going to be very important. And I done been doing a lot of that for real. When the spiritual attacks come, and they're going to come, when the physical attacks come, and they might come, you got to just be able to get yourself to a place and tell yourself, you understand, and change your outlook, change your perspective, so you don't wrap yourself into a situation where you just calling the energy back to you, calling the energy back to you. You understand what I'm saying? You want to take it and transmute it and push it out. You don't want to stay in, you understand, the energy that's trying to be transferred to you if it's something that you need to transmute in a positive. And y'all, I'm serious as hell about the art of detachment, y'all. That's going to be so important. Probably one of the most important things that you're going to have to start working on. Because I'm trying to tell you, everything that you're attached to is something that can distract you from ascending. I promise you, I'm not playing. And when I say everything's on the table, y'all, everything on the table now, bro. Do with that what you will. All right. All right. So I'm going to stop recording.